Spoilers review, guys. Spoilers. Action. What's going on, moviegoers all over the world? My name is Ryan D. You can call Ryan680.
One at Cloud Extra.
And I'm joining from the Countdown to the Geekcast. My name is Steady.
What's going on, Steady? Man, pleasure to have you back on the show, man. Thanks, man.
Cap.
Thanks for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Chris Evans in the house, guys. Chris Evans, a.k.a. Michael Pena. Michael Pena took over the suit, guys.
Yep. It says it in Ant-Man and the Wasp. I have no powers.
He has the power of talking, of telling a story, right?
There you go.
All right, guys. This is our spoilers review, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready to be spoiled because everything's about to change. Everything's about catastrophe, and we're here to explain it all, guys. Again, spoilers.
Yes, go watch our non-spoilers review if you are not into spoilers.
Yeah,
because we're going to go over everything.
We're going to cover everything, guys. So thank you again for listening to us, and thank you for making us a part of your day. So let's get right to it, guys. So we're going to start off with our ratings, ladies and gentlemen. Cloud, get us started, man.
A solid 9.
9.4.
10.
All right. Since you started with a 10, we're going to go ahead and open it up with the opening scene, guys. So opening scene, we do get Hawkeye, man. We do get Hawkeye in here. And, actually, it's funny because everyone was asking, where's Hawkeye? Well,
we know.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. We do get his daughter, obviously taking over the traits. It's in his genes, right? It's got to be in his genes, right?
Oh, definitely, it's got to be.
Right. So his
he never misses. He fired those shots.
Right. I did love this scene because it does show a different point of view, and it does show a different out of the box of Infinity War, and it shows exactly what happened, who it affected it, and everything. Besides seeing us just the superheroes, and it did show us a little bit of people going away, but it showed us a different, obviously, a person that's far from the battle.
The snap.
Yeah, far from the snap. But man, I mean, okay. So I'm happy they started off with this. But I didn't expect it whatsoever. What y'all think?
I expected it. As soon as I was family, I was like, okay, yeah. They're not going to make it. But I liked it because, again, Infinity War, we see Team A and TB and then Simon Jackson leave.
Yeah.
All of them were kind of in the middle of something.
Yes.
And then we see Ant-Man and the Wasp, where Ant-Man was kind of even unaware of it.
Yeah.
But we see it, unaware of it.
Yes.
This one shows perspective of just... It's Hawkeye, but he was kind of like just a regular person.
Yeah.
He turns around, his daughter's there. He turns around, his wife's there. And you see the emotion go through him, like the fear, like where's my family?
Exactly.
So, hypothetically, that's how I would be if that happened while I was barbecuing.
And it took a toll. It took a toll on it, just like it would be on anybody. And when it comes down to it, though, like I didn't see this. We're going to the next, I guess, major scene. Them figuring out. So we do go 23 days after this, and the world is in chaos. They're trying to figure out where's Thanos at, and I really didn't see them. Obviously, fast forward, they do cut off. It was weird though. I didn't see them cutting off like 5 years. I thought it was gonna be current, like 4 years.
Told you it wasn't.
I didn't know that. I didn't think that whatsoever.
I expected it as well, but it was something that I think the directors touched on a little bit, that we were going to see the devastation. We were going to linger with the actions of the snap, and starting with Clint, it was impactful. It's almost like another kick in the gut. Reminding us how it felt the first time we saw the snap, how silent everybody was. Well, you're back to that emotion again. And then moving forward, I'm glad we talked about in a non-spoiler review that I really wanted to see the devastation. I don't want to see what the plan is right away. We need to stay with the destruction and linger on.
We did get a plan right away, though, but it did not go
as planned.
According, it went crazy.
So we're going to mention it, guys. So obviously Thanos does die, but it's weird, like that
so
scene.
Fast.
So fast. I'm just like, and so
easy.
Yes. So easy.
But it's fine.
So predictable. I'm just like,
he wasn't trying to fight them though.
Yeah, he wasn't. It was strange. It was all like,
and
what?
It took me later to realize that he was already half blown to hell.
Yeah, it took a toll on him.
Yeah, and it wasn't from Infinity War. Actually, all of his injuries from Infinity War he healed with the Infinity Stones. There's little shots you can slow it down. The axe in the chest. He actually pulled that out, healed himself using the Time Stone. But all the injuries that he suffered at the beginning of this movie were from the destruction of the stones.
Yeah.
That huge explosion, and he had no way to heal himself.
Yeah.
So literally, he's a crippled shell of himself at the beginning of this.
Yeah, and like I mean, it took a toll on him whenever he was destroying every single stone, and but you know, how did he destroy them? That's the thing. Like, it led me at that question. Like, what the heck? Like,
yeah, another snap.
Snap. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Probably just another snap, and you just
think about
keep snapping over and over, just non-stop snapping.
You can snap anything. You're like, I'm hungry. I want a cheeseburger. Snap.
yeah. The reality stone.
Reality stone.
Oh, okay. Oh, there you go.
With the limited power of the other stones.
I mean, we learned in Infinity War, it takes the power of an Infinity Stone to destroy an Infinity Stone.
Yeah.
So if you want to destroy all 6 of them, then you're gonna have to use them all
simultaneously.
Yeah. Sadly, guys, we do not get Vision. I mean, that's another thing. I was kind of saddened about that.
No, I knew we weren't gonna get him because he was an Infinity Stone.
Again, he wasn't part of the snap. You know, maybe we get everybody who was a part of the snap, but those that happened before that, Gamora, Loki.
Oh, we got Gamora.
We got a Gamora.
Oh, yeah, Gamora. Not the Gamora. Which kind? We'll talk about more in depth on that when we go further in.
Do you want better?
Yeah.
Why is Gamora?
Oh yeah. So we do jump, guys. 5 years after that, we do jump, and we actually see Ant-Man stuck in the.
Yes.
Yeah. So we do see him. He's out. He's
how he escapes the quantum.
Yeah. How he escapes the quantum realm.
The rat hits a button and out pops Scott Lang.
Oh, that's right. Oh man.
It's the only thing that I kind of did a little bit of an eye roll to.
Okay.
I thought, because Michelle Pfeiffer told us at the end credit of Ant-Man and the Wasp, don't travel into a time vortex, you'll get sucked into another time. Mm-hmm. So to me, my thought was always that Lang was going to just go into a time vortex, and I thought he would end up in the past.
That's what I thought.
It doesn't work well when you start dealing with, what about Thanos in the future? But the way they did it is that a rat got him out in the future, which makes a lot more sense. And then he's able to tell people, like, you know, we can figure this out. Yeah. With the help of Tony Stark and others. So a little bit of an eye roll with the rat. I'd rather just him fly through a time vortex, come out 5 years later, but it's fine. And then, the rest of it's amazing.
And then, of course, we do see what he is freaking out, and he is still. I mean, it's past 5 years, and he didn't. It sucks. I mean, we get this first scene, Cloud. I mean, you know, I'm pretty sure you got emotional on that part.
Oh yeah.
How shocked he was to see that his daughter
age, 5 years older.
5 years older. But man, I was like, dang, 5 years already. I was like, dang, that's crazy. And he was shocked. It was just. I mean, the world they do touch up on this, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, obviously they do touch up on the world, you know, on how the Infinity Stones took effect on everybody. And we see this world after, you know, and we see it and they create momenta. They do create like where everyone's names on there. And, you know, it's crazy just thinking about that. And just it becomes a reality, you know. It's a reality to them. And we do also get, ladies and gentlemen, our first ever Russo Brothers cameo.
Yeah.
You know, it was actually, you know, Russo brother. I'm sorry.
Russo brother, Joe Russo.
Yeah, Joe. You know, it's funny because I didn't see this coming. I didn't see this whatsoever. I didn't really hear about it too much. I didn't hear about it at all. And I was all like, what the heck? I mean, we see him when he's talking about a date he had, and then in trying to date again after the Infinity Stones. And I get that though, because it shows us how not just superheroes, not superheroes like yourself, but humans, Cap. Humans like us, and Cap's actually there. And it's funny because it's like they know he's Captain America, but yet they're not like, oh my God, Captain America. Like, they're just like, we're in this together, you know. We're all
everyone lost.
Yeah, everyone lost. We all failed. And in the end, they all failed. And, you know, just like Doctor Strange said, we're in the end game. And it just, you know, so going into that scene, I felt like it was necessary to show that human interaction. I will say that interaction with with Captain America, with the Avengers in it.
Yeah, it's still showing sort of what the world is like now, and so you're really getting that feeling. But to go back to Scott. Like, this is our second emotional moment. The first one is really when Clint loses his family, and this is the second emotional scene, and it's the first 10 minutes. Yeah, and this one still works. Yeah, I'm buying all of it. I mean, Paul Rudd nails it. Yeah, and you get it seems really genuine. So it's hard to think about like being gone. He wasn't gone that long. He said he was gone 5 hours.
5 hours, yeah.
So when you are only in the quantum room for 5 hours, but you come back and your daughter's a teenager when she was 10 before or 12 before.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's to think about it. It's scary. It's terrifying.
Oh yeah.
And he really nailed it. So again, the writing is spectacular, and the directors are getting every single emotional ounce from these actors that they need to at every point. None of these emotional scenes failed. None of them missed. All of them hit really well.
I would disagree with you on there, and I have to disagree with you on the writing. On the writings, I'll disagree with you. I'll politely disagree with you on there on the writing. Spectacular,
spectacular.
Okay, I believe Christopher Nolan does some spectacular writing, but that's just me.
He also does a lot of shortcuts. We'll talk about that.
Okay, so we actually get the answer we've been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. Is Asgardian still alive? Because we do get the opening scene in Infinity War where Thanos takes over that ship and everything. We're all like, where's the Asgardians at? Obviously they survived. We do get that answer, and it's funny seeing it like, oh, the sign says Asgardian and everything. The Valkyries survived. I was like, what? I didn't see that. I mean, I really didn't see. I wouldn't say I wouldn't see that coming. I just
we got a poster about it. So
I don't know.
Thor told us too. Thor told us in Infinity War that
people.
Half, but Thanos killed half on the ship already.
A quarter.
So only a quarter of them survived. Like Thanos, it's not very perfectly balanced, if you ask me. But yeah.
Spoiler: Idris Elba dies in Infinity War. That was sad. I got sad about that.
Another death that you can't undo.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. He come back. Yeah, man. And he was loyal too. But so
well, he's in DC now, so he can't come back.
Yeah, there you go. So we do get the Asgardians. They do come back. We get, of course, the funny. We get the reveal of Thor, man.
Oh yeah, that too.
Thor and Korg, like they're just having fun playing Fortnite and drinking beer. That's all they're doing.
That's how they're coping with everything.
Korg is a crowd favorite, so I'm glad to see him back. And the whole Thor reveal like threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
I'm going with it.
It threw everyone for a loop. I mean, you're no longer like this anymore, man. You're no longer built anymore.
I think it's all Chris Hemsworth's idea, because he wanted Thor Ragnarok to be more off the wall and spontaneous and more comedic, and so this is just following that lead. But I don't
think he wanted to stick to his diet. Strict diet.
Thor in this movie,
he was wearing a big old
old fat suit.
Oh yeah, and I bet you he was loving it because he was like, oh, I'm no longer built, or I don't know. It just, I felt like it was
You didn't like it?
No. I didn't say I didn't like it. I feel like we didn't. I didn't need it, but then I didn't need it, but now that I know I saw it, I want it. So like it's almost like I didn't know this candy existed, but now that I tasted it, I want more of it. Yeah. And so I did love it though.
Did you feel it was too corny, or it was like right on for you?
A little corny for me.
Corny? Okay.
I could see people doing that, sort of thinking this is probably too corny.
Yeah.
I think it still follows the same, like I said, his same idea from Ragnarok was to make it funny, fresh, be different than what Thor 1 and 2 was like. And then I'm a big fan of the Big Lebowski.
Okay.
So like this is Asgardian Lebowski. The whole movie was just Asgardian Lebowski.
The only reason I'm okay with it just because I think it developed a lot of character for Thor. He's the one who feels the most guilty.
Yes, he does.
Yes. He's the one who kills Thanos the second time.
Yes.
And even that, like him telling who was it?
His mom.
Cat. I'm the one who killed Thanos. You can say they did that. Even that, like, it means nothing because he still couldn't stop the snap.
Even the very beginning, we see Thor where he's gone just solo. Like he wants to be by himself. He just wants to be alone, and he's taking guilt, and it's a guilt trip. We see so much. I would say, going into character development and everything. I mean, to be honest, man, I would say he's probably had one of the most character developments on this movie, just because we've seen what he was struggling with. He was alcoholic. I mean, going through drugs. I mean, like alcohol is a drug. But just
addicted to Fortnite.
That's another drug. You play Fortnite, don't you?
No.
I
play good games.
But and he's threatening people online, by the way, guys. So if you see him, God of Thunder, don't mess with him.
That was awesome. Very funny.
But so going into this, I'm not gonna lie though. I didn't mind his hair. His hair was pretty funny. I would say that. I actually, I didn't expect it, but it was pretty funny seeing his hair like that.
Like I said, Big Lebowski, man, just the loafers, the shorts, the long, woolen coat that he was wearing, the sunglasses. It was Big Lebowski from start to finish, and I did like his arc. I think he pulled off one hell of a performance from what he's been asked to do before to what he had to do in this movie.
Yeah.
He was definitely the oddball of the entire film, the one that was sort of
even explaining
like a sore
the Infinity Stones.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes.
I loved it, and you know what? Like everybody had their own reasoning for why they blamed it on themselves.
Yes.
It wasn't just Thor.
Yeah.
Iron Man's like.
Holy
cow! When we
Captain
saw
America.
him,
No, he blamed Captain America on that because remember he was like, this is why we wanted the shield. We wanted a shield around the world, and this could have been Ultron. Ultron could have prevented this, and then Captain like, oh well, look how that ended up. And it just taking dabs at each other.
I want to know how they did that scene because he looked very scrawny.
Yeah, he
was
did.
missing a lot of weight. He looked sickly.
So we do get
and frail.
We get Tony. He survived obviously, and by Captain Marvel guys, and just man, he looked so bony. It was weird. It was so different.
I love that entire scene because Robert Downey Jr. is just fantastic at everything he does. But he totally killed the emotion and stuff, and you felt it. And Cap doesn't want to fight him. Tony's been lost in space for how long? 2 weeks, 3 weeks almost.
Yeah.
So for him, it's just taking it, and then we'll deal with it later when he calms down. But I loved everything that was being said. The dialogue is great, and I loved that emotional moment. Captain Marvel saving Iron Man. I was just like, come on, let's figure out maybe a better way for him to get found. I thought maybe Pepper would find him wearing the
rescue armor.
The rescue armor.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. I thought maybe he would just find a way to get back home. He would use his intellect and find a way to get back home. So Captain Marvel finding him, not a big gripe.
A little cheesy.
I would have liked it to be a little bit more creative.
So you think the writing could be better?
Could be
you
better.
said the writing
not a gripe.
No,
not a gripe.
No.
Not a gripe.
It's not but you just said you would change it. You would change it.
I would.
More creative.
I said I was hoping they would be a little more creative with that part.
I would say a little bit more smooth.
But she's not in this movie a lot, which I thought is great.
Which is good, because
Not to bash Captain Marvel fans, but she could do this whole movie by
that's what my daughter said.
herself.
My daughter went cosplay as Captain Marvel, and she was like, why didn't we get more of her? And I told her, I was like, well, first off, there wasn't enough Pym particles to even send her back in time.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
Yeah,
there
it was
go.
already.
She couldn't even be in
right
it.
there.
She wouldn't have been. They could have got someone else to go back in time. But
yeah. So we're going into the time. So they do have a game plan, guys. You're actually figuring out where the stones are at each point of the time. So now, first I will say I was right. It was Back to the Future scenarios all over again. And we are going to talk about that, Cloud, because I know you were against it from the beginning. Cloud was against it. He didn't want Back to it, but I was all like, no, that's how it's going to... That's it's inevitable. They have to do that because there's no other way. And he was like, well, no, it's just... Now let's go to the logic of it. Let's first mention, of course, the scenes were just... What is the first scene that we get, though? Who goes into the... Is it the Avengers scene that we first get?
Yeah.
Right, it's the Avengers. So we go back to the very first Avengers movie. And I didn't expect it to unfold like that. It was very weird seeing on a different, because they show it's almost like they showed us like old footage of it was almost like, oh yeah, we filmed this like when Avengers happened. It was so casual. I felt like it went smoothly as far as behind the scenes goes, because you have to get all the characters, all Hell Hydra, that was pretty funny. Captain America doing that.
Pretty cool.
I loved it, and it's almost a callback to Winter Soldier because Cap is in that elevator with all the Hydra agents, and I'm like, okay, two things could happen here. He can beat them all up again, which I would have loved to see that one more time. When he's ready,
because one of them gets the holster ready.
Yeah. Or he pulled off, just out thinking them, doing a little Hell Hydra whisper, and then he's out of there.
That was funny. That was good. And
I loved it. Everybody loved it in my theater.
We get the actor that played, or the character that Crossbones, right? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. He's back. Yeah. He came back. So now, now let's go to the logic of it.
So what was the thing you didn't want to happen?
What was your pet peeve?
Gets messy. Time travel gets messy any movie.
You sure? Yes.
Positive.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you said I thought you were asking me. No, just because you create paradoxes or alternate realities or. So okay, in this movie they time travel.
Yes.
And then the ancient one kind of points out the thing you can't do this because you're gonna create alternate realities.
But
Bruce Banner, we're gonna put him back.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, so the solution.
Yeah.
But they changed things still.
Yes.
Like
First
in the Avengers scene is Loki gets the Tesseract and escapes.
And he's gone.
So that right there is an alternate reality. Thor taking the hammer with him. Now he has 2 hammers.
Yeah.
So now the Thor in that present reality.
Yeah.
Sure.
Doesn't have a hammer. So even though they put
in Dark World, the
ether back inside Natalie, how are they going to do that? Also, how are they going to put the ether back inside Natalie Portman? But now that Thor doesn't have a hammer.
Yeah.
And they didn't keep the hammer because Captain could have returned the hammer, but
he gave
still,
it back. Yeah.
Like you create so many plot holes or little Nebula. Now Nebula and Gamora are gone from that present reality because
Gamora went back.
No, did she?
Yeah,
I thought she went missing.
She well, skipping to the end, but she was at the funeral.
Yeah.
But then she wasn't with
them
the Guardians.
on the ship.
But she doesn't know them now. That's why. Why would she stick around if she doesn't know them?
Yeah, so that's why I'm thinking that she went back to her own time.
I thought she just went about her own thing.
Oh. We really don't get an explanation after that. We really don't.
Oh, regardless. Okay, in that present reality,
but you're right.
Thanos is dead.
Old Nebula's dead. And Old Nebula's dead.
Yeah, Old Nebula's dead, and then obviously
Thanos is dead.
Yeah.
So you're already creating these alternate realities, no matter how much they've changed. Even though you put the Infinity Stones back exactly the point where you got them.
Right.
Yeah.
It defeated the purpose and the logic of the ancient one, which I did love. They got the ancient one.
Yeah.
And I was surprised they got Natalie Portman back.
Very surprised
about that. Not unless it's just old footage.
We didn't have any interactions with her. We see Rocket sneaking up behind the chair.
You CGI Rocket.
That's it.
You CGI Rocket.
Yeah.
I mean, you can pretty much get that wired. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean,
but she was credited at the end.
Like I said, it could be just old footage from Dark Elves, and it was just like, let's just.
But just me out there being in time travel, like I knew again. Yeah. I didn't want it to be time travel. We knew it was going to be time travel though.
You're right.
Because the leaked photos, but that was my issue, and it happened. My worry happened.
Yeah.
Like my daughter didn't notice it. I'm pretty sure like other people didn't notice it, but I had big issues with it. Being a big Doctor Who fan.
Yeah.
Just the time travel got me, and I was just
even at that though, they never explained where Loki went after.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. There's already alternate reality.
He just teleported somewhere. Obviously, that's why we're getting a show of him, right?
I hope he's still alive. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Well, obviously,
they could say whatever. We'd have to go with it, but I hope he's still alive now.
Yeah. And then of course we do get also so it's 6 stones and then 3 teams are all split up. I will say this though, that was kind of weird how they were linked in together. That was weird.
Time
that
travel
was very
again,
weird.
messy.
No, and it made a little bit of sense. Yeah. They both work on a similar wavelength, similar frequency. They're made from the same parts, so it wasn't necessarily that their minds are almost conjoining, getting mixed up together.
The receiver was going to the same place.
Yeah, Bluetooth. They were tied together, even though there shouldn't be another nebula. But you put 2 in the same universe, and somehow the signal reaches the other one. So it was actually very imaginative, very creative. I didn't see that coming. I'm glad
they created
an
antagonist, because without that, we wouldn't have had an antagonist, especially at the end.
Yeah.
And see, and then of course we're going back to the logic of things. So. Did Hawkeye and I keep saying Scarlett Johansson, I don't know, but did Hawkeye and Black Widow, did they not know that Gamora didn't come back?
How would they have known? No.
They knew she didn't come back
but they didn't know who Gamora was.
Wait, hang on.
No.
Nebula.
Nebula.
Nebula told everyone that
they're all like, is that
Thanos
a
went there, but she doesn't know. None of them know exactly
how it was,
why she didn't come back.
And then that's when Hawkeye was all like, you think that was a coincidence? Like, there's a reason why she didn't come back. And now I guess they figured it out when they were there. And so obviously
from the floating red guy, floating red guy told
the Red Skull. So obviously we do get them fighting each other. So if you had to choose, if we had to change this, obviously sad news, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Scarlett Johansson's no longer. Yeah, she's no longer there. She died. She didn't come back with the snap. Black Widow's gone forever.
Even though we're getting the standalone movie, supposedly.
Yeah, supposedly. Oh, you know what? I was thinking about that too, but I was like, okay, this shows maybe it's dead then, or because it was just
prequel. Alternate reality.
Alternate reality.
Maybe when you put the Soul Stone back, then
there you go. Yeah.
How are you gonna do that? Hey, let's go. We didn't want this.
She's still sitting on Vormir. Captain, bring her back.
Yeah.
No, I liked it. We knew they were going to space, and I was as soon as the two of them took off, I'm like, oh my god, I really hope they're not going to Vormir, but where the hell else will they go?
Yeah.
And so when they're both on the cliff, I was like, please don't do this wrong. They need to milk this moment, and they need to fight over who's going to sacrifice themselves. So I enjoyed this part. As emotional, as difficult as it was to watch, I loved the way they did this. They executed it perfectly.
And this going back to that footage, though. I mean, all those old footages, going back to Infinity War footage when they're getting the Soul Stone, going back to the Guardians of the Galaxy when Chris Pratt's first getting, when he first dancing around, like just all those scenes, we've seen them, the build up. You know, and it felt like it was a build-up alone, showing old footage mixed with the new footage at the same time. It was pretty awesome doing that. And I feel like even, you know, it's funny because we always talk about build-ups and everything, but they physically literally did a build-up of all their movies right from the get-go. And it's cool to see all these movies come together. And that's what we saw. But it's also funny how they changed the alter reality. Like Chris Pratt got knocked the hell out. I mean, that was
awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. And then of course,
which it wouldn't change anything because they're gonna put the orb right back where it was, like it had never been gone. You know?
But Chris Pratt wakes up from a few minutes later.
So then that messes up another thing though, because that also messes up who gets this.
I know what you guys are thinking about, and yes, before this movie.
So
I would have been totally with you guys. Yeah. But like you said, you've seen a lot of time travel movies. Even all the time travel movies don't have similar mechanisms on how it works. Yeah. Like Bill and Ted, it was one of my favorite time travel movies growing up. They would just think of something that they would have done, and that thing happens. So there's always little differences. And this movie tells you that they're going to choose that to go with. As long as the stones are in place, time is fine. And so I know it doesn't make any sense. That's why I said in our non-spoiler review that I had a lot of questions after this movie, because there are some things that I think should logic-wise change things. But they tell us in the movie that their only rule is that as long as the stones are in place, then everything is fine. Like your future is fine. Maybe you create another alternate timeline, but it's more like a separation. Yeah. Like you don't have this past anymore, and your future goes on without everything that you've done in the past. And that goes on to probably a different timeline.
Yeah, and going into that major scene, guys. I mean, of course, we get the trio though. First is Tony Stark, Iron Man, and Captain America fighting Thanos. Man, I mean that scene was pretty crazy. I mean, I would say those
awesome.
Yeah, the action
choreographed fight scene.
It was really done very well. I would say. I mean, just good performance as far as it comes with sequences and everything. And
I loved it most of all just because people say Star-Lord ruined Infinity War, and I tell people no, he did not.
No, he did not, folks.
Yeah,
Star-Lord didn't take the gauntlet away. Yeah, Thanos single-handedly could have killed all of them and taken it back.
Yeah.
So that scene, Thanos fight the big three and win. He essentially won until Cap wields the hammer, and he still lost until reinforcements show up. I love that scene. It shows how much of a threat Thanos really was. Even people hating on Star-Lord. Yeah. Like, no, if Thanos wanted to, he could have killed all of them right then and there and still got the gauntlet. Yeah. So Doctor Strange obviously knew that.
Yeah.
He saw that big fight with Big Three fighting Tim Duncan, Peter Parker. Who else? Ginobili fighting.
Yeah, exactly.
Kawhi Leonard. It was an awesome fight scene.
You don't speak that name ever again.
Okay, calm
down.
No,
ouch.
Thanos. That's what they tell Thanos.
Exactly. We forgot to mention that other scene was whenever the Hulk was trying to get from the Sorcerer Supreme. Whenever he's trying to get the ancient one, when he's getting the Soul Stone, it's crazy how she knew. I mean, obviously, with the Time Stone, but it's crazy how she knew like Doctor Strange was gonna be even before.
Well, just because they're supposed to protect the Time Stone with their life.
Yeah.
And she says like he gave it up, like he didn't die for the stone.
Yeah,
she
exactly.
willingly.
Yeah,
she knew like okay, something's up.
Yeah, something's like, oh, Doctor Strange gave you that. And it was funny how she even knew where Doctor Strange was. He was doing the surgery and everything. That was pretty funny. That was a little tidbit logic in there that I kind of liked. Him.
She's probably been following him. She's been waiting for him this whole time.
Her life.
That's another reason why I don't give Chris Pratt, a.k.a. Star-Lord, that much grief, because this is all part of Doctor Strange's plan.
Yeah. And even
he's supposed to...
Tony Stark, he gives him that little one.
Yeah.
Love it.
That was pretty good.
I love that.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That's why Star-Lord shouldn't get so much grief over Infinity War.
Because all of this needed to happen in order for the ending to happen.
There's only one way that everything works out and the Avengers win the war. This really was a war.
This crazy war. So we do get the lineup of every single Avenger, obviously except Black Widow. Except Black Widow. Except Black Widow, Idris Elba, and I think that's really. I'm trying to think.
Vision.
Oh, Vision, of course. Vision. Yes, Vision, of course. And so we do get everyone pretty much there, and it's crazy, man. So we do get a lineup of everybody, and it just. The visuals alone, I mean, so we get all Thanos' army. He goes full on, like he brings his full house here, and it just, wow, that was crazy. I was like, dang, this is all battle scenes, and that was the one thing I was so hesitant on. I was all like, you're showing way too much going on here. How is the camera gonna work? How is everyone gonna get a good amount? And I talk about it on a regular review. It was the camera angle. So the camera angle was actually going pretty good. I liked it because in the very beginning, the camera goes out. It goes out and then it pushes back in, but it goes in order. So like it just it caps first, and then it keeps following Thor, and it keeps following like it goes out. It shows what every single character is doing, and then of course when they come out of the or how do you call it, that vortex, I guess you could say, or coming into the battle scene, and you know it just of course we finally hear Cap say it. What do you say? Avengers
assemble.
Yeah, Avengers assemble. We've always. You know, we've never. Has he ever said that?
They always cut it.
Yeah,
they were saving it for this moment.
Yeah, they were exactly, man. I mean, just kudos to them. Kudos to the Russo brothers there. Now,
hang on, Cap finally got his moment to shine. He didn't get a lot of moments in Infinity War, and they saved all the good ones for this one.
Yeah,
going back to just Iron Man, Thor, and Cap against Thanos. Thor was almost the one with the axe in his chest cavity this time, and instead the greatest moment in this movie for me at least is Cap picking up Mjolnir and starting to fight Thanos with it.
Oh man, I didn't like that though. I don't know why. I didn't like it.
We're done.
I'm gonna say it.
Go.
I didn't like it. I'm gonna say it.
That moment had the largest cheer in my theater.
Did?
Over 400 people were going absolutely nuts.
It did, and they obviously they hinted it in Age of Ultron whenever he almost picked it up, a tidbit, and then Thor made his face. But I don't know. I don't know.
Worthy in your eyes?
No, I don't like Captain America. That's just me. I said it. I don't like you.
Well, you're still giving them your money, so I don't care.
I think you're worthy, Cap.
Yeah.
Thank you. Even Thor says, "I knew you were worthy." Like,
yeah. Oh, that was a joke. That was a little cheesy joke, I would say. I was like, "Oh, I knew you were worthy the whole time."
He knew it. No, it was good. It was.
That's
all
why you got scared when he moved it. It was an amazing moment. It was the best moment of the movie. The whole fight.
Yeah. Absolutely the best. It was almost neck and neck, but then Thanos had his cavalry right in, and this was my favorite shot of the film. It's my favorite shot of any film in Marvel. Is Cap with his shield broken shield. He has Mjolnir in one hand, and you have Thanos and his army on the other side of the screen.
That was awesome.
Yes,
and I like it how like you think. Yeah. Like he just straps his shield on tight. Like he still didn't give up. That was
he
so
still
awesome.
didn't. Yep, he still kept trying, man. I mean, that's what it is. It's just we have one shot to do this, and we got to make sure we fulfilled it. Because this is it, you know. This is because I mean I felt like with Infinity War it kind of got them a little off. I don't want to say off guard, but it just it was all like, oh, Tony was right. You know, it's shocking. Everyone was shocked to see how the stones all. What do you call it? How Thanos, they didn't expect him to be as powerful, and it just until it was just scene after scene with Infinity War, and it was build up after build up from Infinity War to Endgame, and what do you call it? And so like when it actually got executed, when everything happened in this crazy scene, I mean we see all of our questions get answered. Every superhero comes in to fight and to help save the world, and normally when it comes to these scenes like this, I'm just like, oh, you're leaving someone out. No, they didn't leave anyone out. Everyone came because it affected the whole world. It affected everyone's universe. Even Captain Marvel showed up.
I'm like, where were these 200 sorcerers in Infinity War? We could have used all these guys in New York.
Alter reality. I knew it. Alter reality.
It was great. great to see not just Wong and Doctor Strange, but all these other guys using their powers and everything.
That was awesome.
It was awesome. It was a great visual to see them all doing it, all using their shields to protect people and whatnot. But you're right. Everybody got a great. That's what I said about this movie. Everybody got a great heroic moment.
Yes.
Everybody got a lot of time in Infinity War, but they not necessarily got a great heroic moment.
Yeah.
Everybody got a great heroic moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course,
especially all the females.
We are going to talk about we are going to talk about the heartwarming moment between Tony Stark and Spider-Man. I mean, Peter Parker. That was a pretty good. You like that moment?
Oh, I love that moment.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Written perfectly, executed well. Just Tony doesn't say a word. He just hugs him.
Yeah,
because he doesn't know what's going on. Spider-Man doesn't know that.
Yeah. When it was
he just says I was dusted and then I woke up and apparently it's been 5 years and Doctor Strange said Tony needs us so we got to go back. So no time to talk. Let's just get back to Earth. I loved it. It was good.
That I didn't really see. Obviously we do get Hulk snapping. I didn't see Tony Stark doing it, man. That was crazy. I didn't suspect that whatsoever.
It was fantastic. I kind of knew. We talked about it in our predictions.
Yeah.
I said Tony would sacrifice himself, but I thought Cap would get in the way. Okay. I thought Cap would get in the way. And,
I thought Cap was going to do it.
I thought Cap would take his place. A lot like
that's what I thought too.
Clint and Natasha. Yeah. They were fighting over who was going to sacrifice themselves.
Yeah, I thought that was going to happen.
I expected the same thing with Cap and Robert, but I loved it. I think it was really good. And then the line that he gave Thanos, because Thanos says, "I am inevitable," and Tony just responds with, "I am Iron Man."
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Magic.
You didn't like that?
Magic.
That was pretty good. And then of course we do get. That's when we do get all the women's superheroes in this universe. We do get them all together, and they're all taking out a lot of people. Like, dang, it looks legit. It was awesome. Like, I didn't.
They're really foreshadowing that all-female Marvel movie.
Yeah, I didn't really see, because it was funny though, because Wasp came out of nowhere. I was like, what the heck? I was like, Wasp. I was like, what? It was like, oh, okay, that was awesome. That was a great nod, guys. Awesome. I would say that, because I mean, they said so many times, Captain Marvel just came out with its first female lead superhero movie, a solo superhero movie of her, So I mean, and so in regards to all this though, like, you just scene after scene though. I mean, we do get, of course, what I'm gonna say. What I did love too also was the Spider-Man, how he was. It sucks though how his his spider legs broke. I was like, damn it. I was like, what the heck? Because they were breaking. He's all like, oh man. And then his suit came off, and then he was just like holding on to the glove, and then Captain Marvel came, and he was all like, you need this, or what did he say? He's all like, you need this or something, or he said something like that. I can't remember. He was all like, I guess I could give this to you or something, or he said something funny. I can't remember.
Something like that. I think he said, how are you gonna get from here over there, or something like that.
Oh yeah. There you go. That was pretty funny. I will say that. And then also, guys, obviously Tony Stark does die, ladies and gentlemen. He passes away for the world. He does give himself up for the world, and it's crazy. I mean, he snaps, and they actually are leaving. Thanos and all his creatures and all his children are dying. And it's awesome seeing it on like that. Like, I'm pretty much like Tony Stark's all like, now you see it on our point of view. Like, you see your people turn into dust.
I doesn't care about that.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was, but I was just like, oh, boom. Yeah, here you go. Like, I'm Tony Stark. Like, I just did this, and he's owning it. And I just, I'm going to say, though, I really thought Captain America was going to do it. For some reason, I really thought he was going to do it. He was going to grab the glove, and he was just going to not think about it, not think twice about it, just do it like he did in Captain, going into the iceberg like he did, sacrificing himself. Already, like, he's already done that for his country. I wanted to see him do that for the world. Now, with that being said and everything, we also do get. I guess you want to shine any more on the battle scenes?
It was a perfect ending for both Cap and Tony. There's no two other ways to end this.
Yeah. People
thought we would actually see Cap die, and then we would. Hopefully, wishing we could see a final dance with Agent Carter, Peggy Carter, but it doesn't matter because he actually lived an entire life with her, which is even better.
That. Yeah, we do get that. Right before that, it's I guess you could say that's the Tony Stark funeral. I would say, I expected more. I expected more of the Tony Stark funeral. I wanted to be like something spontaneous, like weird, something a digital statue of him or something.
You want like a Superman statue in the middle of the
city? There you go, man. Exactly. I mean, come on. I mean, this is the guy that started the event. This is the very first Avengers. I mean, the very first Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. The very first one. I mean, I still get chills at the very end when we see Nick Fury come into standing in his living room. Like, it's just this is
he died a very humble way. I think they kept it humble.
No, okay, all right, whatever. He didn't die this Tony Stark way. He just have his momenta. But no, I mean, I will say though that I guess putting in his daughter was pretty. I would say I didn't see that coming at all. Him having a family, I didn't see that whatsoever. Him having a daughter. I mean, obviously, I would say that him and Pepper Potts relationship, we actually seen it grow in this film. I would say more than in the past movies because I just felt like obviously she was in the the Iron Man suit and everything. And we do see her in action right after guys we see the funeral. Of course we do get the scenes of everyone who's there, and I love that too. But the one question that we are still wondering, put it in the comments down below, guys, if you know.
I do.
Oh, you do know?
Ask it. I know what you're talking about.
What are you gonna say?
Who's the kid?
But we're
by himself.
We're assuming it's the boy from Iron Man 3.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's the boy from Iron Man 3. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, yeah, we were assuming that. Okay. All right, okay, then we were right then. All right.
It threw me for a loop at first as well, and I was just like, wait a minute, that wasn't Parker. Who the heck is that guy? And it took a second, but I was with a few other people, and then we were like, yeah, I think this guy. It's a kid from 3. Okay. So yeah, a lot older than what he used to be.
5 years older.
Yeah, 5 years.
It looks like more than 5 years, but yes.
Yeah. A lot could happen in 5 years.
That's going to confuse a lot of people, but it's going to be something that, pays off when they look it up or something.
Oh, yeah. So the tribute, I would say, for the MCU universe, I mean, it shows everyone in the Guardian. I mean, it shows everyone nonstop. And, of course, at the very end of that road, we do see Nick Fury, Jon Favreau. So at the very end, we do get Captain America. And, obviously, he does end up staying with Peggy, and he gets the dance.
So good.
Yeah, he gets that dance, that last dance. And, and the best advice that he's ever gotten was, of course, from Tony. He's just like, get a life, like... And that's exactly what he did. I felt like that was a pretty good move. I would guess a good soft writing move to just write him off. I would say that's a good one, and it leaves him at a heartwarming state. What did you say? Did you see Captain America going out like that?
Yeah, I knew they had to write him off somehow. They wrote off Thor. They wrote off Iron Man.
Yeah.
I thought he would die, but I'm glad he didn't, and I'm glad that they actually did it that way. I didn't expect him to leave the Marvel Cinematic Universe after this movie. I take it back. I thought he would die, so I thought he would leave.
Wait, what? I was like, wait, what?
I thought he would leave that way. Yeah. I didn't see him walking away this way, but it's even better than what I had imagined it would be.
And now that we do get his shield, ladies and gentlemen, his shield actually gets passed on to Falcon, and that explains this TV show that's going to be happening on Disney Plus. That explains, so it's going to be Captain Falcon, right? I guess you could say now.
I hope they change it.
Captain America. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, I think it's called Captain.
I think it's Falcon and Bucky.
Falcon, Bucky. We got to go back to these names. We'll put some comments down below, guys. I do apologize, but yeah, it is Falcon and obviously it's Falcon and Winter Soldier. I guess you could say.
That's what they showed us, but they could always change it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things they're keeping secret. Yeah.
Exactly.
And Happy Hogan officially did survive the snap.
Oh, he did? Okay.
As did Valkyrie. She survived the snap as well.
Yeah, so where was Happy this whole time? But, I mean, it is what it is. You can't put every single character in there. And Happy would have been like, oh, let me go get you lunch or something. Like, he can't really... Yeah, not as he gets in the Iron Man suit, but yeah.
We'll make him one.
Yeah. We did not touch up on it real quick, was the Professor Hulk. That was pretty cool seeing that. I know that does happen in the comics, right?
Yeah, sure does, I'm not crazy about it in the comics. I wasn't crazy about it in the movies.
You weren't okay. All right. I would say though, like, I liked how he explained it, a snippet. I didn't want to see it on camera explained. I liked it how it was just like he explained it real quick in a less 5-minute conversation. I did like that though. I would say that.
It was a spoiler. This has been spoiled already with Funko Pops and promotional photos.
Yeah, nonstop.
So it was actually just expected, but I do like it.
It's funny though because when they put the statues up in Hollywood, in California, and the funny thing is, people are all like, "Why is the Hulk so tiny?" I was all like, well, it's not really the Hulk. It's not really the Hulk anymore, and it's not just him anymore. And I love how he explained it all and everything in the diner. But so fast forward all the way to the end, it just could you have figured out a better ending? Would you rather have ended with a different ending or anything like that? Would you have, as far as like you just Captain America giving off the mantle over, and then that's pretty much ends with him dancing? Would you figure out another? Would you want another ending? More action sequence or something like that?
No, I think it was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
It was not him snapping the Infinity Gauntlet. That was a pretty good way to go.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think it was perfect. I think the only way you make Endgame is by paying homage to as many of the other 21 films that came before it, and so we visited a lot of very similar scenes or locations in those movies, and I think it was absolutely great. They did it really well, and I think Tony Stark started it all. So he's the guy that's going to finish it. And then Cap deserves the best ending send-off that you could give him, because this guy's sacrificed, pretty much his entire life for the greater good, which makes him worthy.
And I do love, too, we're going to the end credits, I did love, too, as well, was that they all signed it. It was kind of cool seeing them sign it.
Yeah, the original Avengers.
The original, just the original concept art, all the idea of starting an Avengers movie, like... It just goes back to all the old stuff, all in the database, and I'm loving it because it just shows everyone's signature. Mark Ruffalo's, Captain America's, the original Avengers, and I loved it. And of course, Black Widow, and Hawkeye. Did Hawkeye get one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Hawkeye
it was the original. The original 6 got one.
Yeah, so they all got one. I loved it so much.
It was a nice touch.
Yeah, it was. And ladies and gentlemen, there is no end credits. It is confirmed, guys. There's no end credits.
Or is there?
There's not.
No. See, here's the thing. People are gonna be upset about this, and we could touch up on it. Did you want an end credit scene?
I would have.
I know. I felt like there was enough.
They need to set up the next.
Well, see,
movie.
the next movie's obviously Far From Home. The ending of Phase 3 is gonna be Far From Home.
Far From Home.
So. I didn't expect it. I felt like it's 3 hours.
Show us something Far From Home, the way Venom did for Spider-Verse.
No, I felt like it was just. I felt like we didn't. I felt like people are gonna expect end credit scene. People were upset about it in the theater, and they were upset about it in the theater. And I was all like, well, it's a 3-hour movie, man. The Russo brothers said we put everything into this film. And they didn't say, oh, we're going to give you end credits or anything like that, but we always expected, of knowing Marvel and everything. Now, I'm not going to say like it wasn't a bad thing not putting it in there, though. I mean, not having an end credit scene. I feel like it wasn't bad.
I would have wanted one.
You really wanted one? Okay. I did say, though, like, we do hear the sound of Iron Man hitting the hammer, and I love that a lot. I am going to say that. That was a true nod to the very first.
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah, that's the hammer when he's first making his first Iron Man suit, trying to get out from the cave.
Very nice, because I was like, that sounds like somebody forging something.
Yep, and
I'm like, is somebody making another Thanos killing weapon or another gauntlet? What's that all about? Yeah. No, it was added a little bit of mystery to it, so I was trying to figure out what that was. I'm glad you actually said that, because now I can get that out of my head and stop thinking about it. I don't know if I needed an end credit scene, because I felt like the Cap scene with Dancing with Peggy was the end credit scene. It came after the funeral. It could have easily just been thrown in there as an end credit scene, and so that kind of fulfilled its purpose for me.
Yeah. This is our review. Hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up, guys.